This Week in East Brunswick. Today we visit the East Brunswick Historical Society as they open a new exhibit featuring reproductions of the work of the great American illustrator Norman Rockwell. Then Mayor David Stahl brings us a brand new business spotlight from Poppin' Cafe, a wonderful nonprofit located in the Brunswick Square Mall whose mission is to provide work opportunities for disabled adults in the area, all while providing some delicious treats. We head to J. Doyle Stadium, where the East Brunswick High School boys varsity soccer team held senior night to honor graduating players and managers before a recent home match. And Barbara Reese sits down in studio to talk with the organizers of a disability awareness fair taking place here at the East Brunswick Public Library. All this, plus we have information on some Halloween-themed activities taking place in town. So stay with us. This Week in East Brunswick starts now.
Hello, I'm Estelle Goldsmith, president of the East Brunswick Historical Society. We've been in existence about 45 years now, and we're bringing these programs regularly to the public free of charge. This afternoon, we're having the great American illustrator Norman Rockwell.
Norman Rockwell is America's most beloved artist. His images of the best of small-town America are nostalgic and humorous, and they just make us feel good. His career spanned 7 decades, and his work always reflected our culture, American culture. So a look at his career is almost like having a look at our society through the past 70 years. So it's a perfect venue for this kind of discussion.
This will be followed by a number of other programs, and a film on Norman Rockwell will be again shown on December 6th here. Do come and visit our facility at 78 Milltown Road. We'd love to see you and show you our whole exhibit here.
Hi, it's Mayor David Stahl with another edition of Business Spotlight. I'm really pleased to be up at the Brunswick Square Mall, the brand new Poppin' Cafe. It's going to be a great story, I promise you that, so I appreciate you watching in, and let's get right to it. I'm joined with Barbie, Samuel, and Stephen to discuss the great new cafe up at Poppin' Cafe. First, just give some brief ideas to what drove the inspiration to open up here in Brunswick Square Mall.
Okay, so Stephen and I and Samuel are residents of East Brunswick. We've been here for over 14 years. We decided to open the store. Initially, we started in the Freehold Mall to have business opportunity for my son, who's now 25 years old. And we found it difficult for him to get jobs in traditional businesses and decided to open a popcorn store. The opportunity came for us to join the East Brunswick, and we had met and talked about how much better it would be for us to be in the East Brunswick area, and we grabbed the opportunity to be in the Brunswick Square Mall. We find that this is a better, it's more of a community-based mall. We see a lot of families that we know in the area. We found a lot of support in the area for this project. When we came to East Brunswick Mall, we realized that Sam was not alone in his quest for a job. There are a lot of adults with disabilities who are very talented and motivated to work, but in the traditional workforce and workplaces, they weren't afforded a full-time job. And Sam decided that he wanted to expand the business and have other friends and adults in need join us in this quest to provide meaningful employment for adults.
It's great now, so I understand that you're working with the East Brunswick School District to provide additional opportunities for individuals.
Right. So when we came to East Brunswick, we were really welcomed with a lot of support from the East Brunswick school system. We've known them for many years, and they share our enthusiasm to increase the opportunities for adults who might need a little bit more support initially getting a job and also staying with the job. They have a structured learning environment where they provide adult students that are in the school system sampling within the area of East Brunswick, different job sites, but there was nothing in a mall area where they would be kind of in a more traditional community-based setting, and they grabbed the opportunity to help us in this quest. And what they're doing is they're having some of their students who who are looking to, at some point, maybe in the next few years, enter the workforce, and they're going to use our site as a sampling site, and they will provide students some opportunities to work as traditional employees here, and they will have job coaches while they're here, and then eventually those job coaches will be faded out. If the students decide that they would like to stay with us after that, we would like to be able to provide them with a full-time work opportunity after graduation from high school.
It is a fantastic story, and I want to congratulate you on your efforts.
Thank you.
I'm going to turn to Stephen for a minute. Let's just talk a little bit about popcorn, because I know you're the popcorn genius here. Let's just first talk about some of the type products that you actually sell.
Okay, well, we have been very lucky. The popcorn was developed over several years, and we were able to purchase some of the recipes, and then we were very fortunate in a woman with culinary and chef experience, Agnes Cushing Ruby, who has a family member who's disabled, has volunteered her time from 10 to 4 o'clock Monday through Friday, basically like a full-time job that she's volunteered all this time, coming up with new recipes. So she would make the recipes, Sammy would cook the popcorn, the new recipes. We would bring it to people, friends and family, to try the recipes. And what began happening is I would take it to my regular workplace to say to people, please try this flavor, what do you think? And the next thing I know, people, instead of just saying, well, we like this, we don't like that, they'd be, oh, can you bring me a tin of this? I was like, give me a... So the samples turned into a product, and I think the best feedback we got was some of the nurses over at the hospital said, this is like crack. Can't stop eating it. So we began making the popcorn here in East Brunswick. It is all handmade by the young men and women. It is completely organic. It comes from special kernels called mushroom-type kernel popcorn from Indiana, and we have it here.
And Sam, how have you found your working experience here in East Brunswick?
Oh, it's going great. It really is. I'm really having a fun time. It's going really well. I never thought I'd have a business of my own. It's fantastic.
And how do you find the response from the customers as to your delicious popcorn?
Oh, it's going great. They say that they really like the sandwiches a lot. We sell a lot of sandwiches. I know on Saturday, I think we sold about 47 sandwiches, I would say.
That's fantastic. So you're the chef besides the popcorn maven, right?
Yes, I am.
That's excellent. Stephen, I know also besides your shop right here in Brunswick Square Mall, you've been working with the township to provide some opportunities at our bus terminals?
Yes, the township's been wonderful. A lot of times when you deal with the town trying to get opportunities for people with disabilities, you run into a lot of bureaucracy and red tape. That has not been the case here. People have been leading with their heart, not with paperwork. And they have set up the opportunity to begin selling the popcorn in the bus terminals. And actually, I don't remember the man, the owner of the bus company has given the green light, no pun intended, to be in all the bus terminals in Middlesex County. And that project's going to be starting soon. And just to give you an idea of how well the popcorn's been going, Sam, step away, show the camera. That's all that's left of the chocolate and caramel. This is a constant battle to keep this bin open, and this was developed by Savney, Agnes, and one of our other workers, Paul Campanaro. Right?
So that's your favorite flavor?
Pretty much. It is a great flavor. It's very addictive.
Going back to your original premise for providing job opportunities, what do you envision where this could possibly lead?
So we always felt that having a business that was supportive of the adults was a little tricky because sometimes they need a little bit more structure and a little bit more help initially. But what we thought, I think where this will go is the more that we sell, the more that we can employ in terms of adults. So all the profits from the sales are going back into this project of Let's Work for Good. So Steve and I are basically volunteering our time, and we're learning a little bit about how much of a profit comes from the sale of the popcorn and sandwiches, and from that we'll be able to provide more hours of work opportunities for adults. So I could see it becoming a business that can grow throughout the community and throughout New Jersey, employing adults with disabilities.
I think it also would show other business owners, particularly hopefully here in East Brunswick, that there are opportunities for these individuals, and they shouldn't be reticent to employ them.
I think there's a misconception sometimes if things go wrong that there's no way back to a better story. So we want to kind of prevent that from happening. So if we have an employee who's trained here, who perhaps works in another store in the mall or another restaurant, and there's a problem. We would envision that worker being able to come back here to review what was wrong and help to remedy that. So we don't have bad stories of people who go into the community and lose their jobs for things that we could perhaps help with additional training and support.
Any other individuals in the East Brunswick community that you're employing?
Yes, we're employing a lot of high school students from East Brunswick, and I just want to say they've done a terrific job actually in helping us run the store, and an added benefit is that they get to work with other adults who might have disabilities, and they're really understanding a little bit more about working with other people who might have some differences, and I think it's going to have a positive effect on our workforce in the future, kind of having that real-life experience. The kids bring with them a lot of enthusiasm, and they're also very savvy with media, so they've been helping us. We've had some high school students actually that developed the website for us that work at East Brunswick school system. I think it's been a real community effort, from the ground up, from your support actually helping us in coming to East Brunswick and helping us with the bus stations and actually the interview today, as well as the students and the special educators at East Brunswick. Sharon Olashevitz, who's Director of Special Education, unfortunately will be retiring soon. She came in and she really made a lot of this happen with the structured learning environment taking place in East Brunswick. So again, I think it's really been a community effort, and I think that the kudos should go to everybody who's really kind of helped support us get to this point already.
Well, actually, you bring up a good point. I mean, I always say it about East Brunswick is we are such a good, caring community and do take an interest in each other's lives. So I think this is living proof of how successful our community is and what a great place it is to live.
Yeah.
Samuel, let's talk about some of the interesting flavors that you developed.
We actually made one flavor called cookies and cream. We made it a very special way. I used like a tin, like aluminum tin? Yeah, an aluminum tin, and we put parchment paper on, we poured a popcorn in, and we used like a chocolate melter to melt the white chocolate, and then we poured the crushed Oreos into it with the white chocolate, and we mix it up, and we let it dry, and then we seal it in bags, and we sell it to the customers.
Sounds fantastic.
Don't give away our secret recipe, yeah.
Maybe we'll come up with something special for the Hanukkah Christmas season.
Oh, sure, we will.
I just want to go back to the popcorn. I know we've got the holidays coming up soon. Anything special that you foresee for the holidays?
Well, what I would recommend to people are the tins. Step aside there a second, Sam. Well, we set up a situation with the tins. Look, we're not here to make $1 million. We're here to employ young men and women, so we've set up things to be really inexpensive. So all these tins, let's say this tin $12, but then whoever you give it to as a gift, or if you keep it yourself, they can come for life and refill it as often as they want at half price. So the gift basically becomes not only very visible and fun and edible, it becomes a gift that stays around for a long time so people can remember you, or if you're giving it out in the business, that your customers, your clients can remember you, because this will stick around a long time. It's like giving a little kid a teddy bear. Teddy bears are there for a long time.
I just also want to say one thing, that we also like the opportunity for the recipient of the gifts to come in to see the store and learn about our story and the progress that we're making. So by giving the tins, they'll be able to come back in for the refills, I guess at a reasonable price, and then also learn about the good that's come from the purchase of their gift.
Well, it's a great story. I mean, the fact that you're reached out and are able to provide opportunities for individuals that might not normally get is a great story in itself. Everyone loves popcorn, so I think you've got the right product for here in East Brunswick. So again, I would encourage everyone to come out to Poppin' Cafe. You've got some tremendous different flavors of popcorn, some great sandwiches that Samuel helped prepare. There's bagels in the morning. I believe the hours here are equivalent to what the store hours are here at the mall. When the mall's open, you can come to the cafe and get some delicious food and take some popcorn home for the family.
The phone number is 390-0938. We do have a website which people can use for ordering, and we will deliver to stores in the mall and stores outside the mall that are nearby. The website is popincafe.org. That's pop, POPINCAFE.org.
The East Brunswick High School boys soccer team recently held senior night before a home match against Piscataway to honor the graduating senior players and managers, as well as their parents. The Bears scored early and often as they jumped out to an early lead and kept adding goals throughout their game on the way to an 8-0 shutout. Senior Keyshawn Brandt Sharp led the Bears with a goal and 3 assists, while fellow senior Robert Chereru scored 2 goals of his own. The boys' team is coached by Terry McKibben and look to carry their regular season success into the upcoming GMC tournament and state playoffs. Now let's meet the seniors.
Barbara Reese reporting for This Week in East Brunswick. We're very fortunate today to be with 2 wonderful ladies who volunteer here in town. We have Leslie Rubenstein, who's the president of the Learning Disabilities Association of New Jersey. Welcome to you.
Thank you.
And we also have Audrey Weiner, who's on the East Brunswick Special Ed Parent Advisory Board. Welcome.
Thank you.
Now, we're talking today about an event that you're working on together. It's a joint effort between 3 different organizations, and you'll tell us more about that. And it's a disability awareness fair coming up in October. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about what we're hoping to see there at the fair.
Well, there's going to be about 25 vendors representing different disabilities. And so we're hoping that a lot of people will be coming to see the different vendors. Primarily, we're hoping that parents who are looking for information will come and meet vendors. We're also hoping that professionals will come and also learn more about the different areas of disability. And most important, we're hoping community members will come because we want people to also know that we're talking about people and not necessarily disability labels, because behind every label is a person. This whole thing actually started because Audrey and I met at the library a few months ago with the hope of making people more aware about the need for more jobs to be available to people with disabilities. And as we were talking, the idea kind of was born to do a disability awareness fair. And since we were sitting at the library at the time, it seemed like a great place to do such an event. So that's kind of how the whole thing came into being.
So it's a co-sponsorship between your organization and the library and East Brunswick Public School System.
That's correct.
Well, that's a fabulous partnership. Now tell me a little bit, Audrey, you have some wonderful speakers coming down to be at the fair to inform people. Tell us a little bit about those speakers.
Ann Ford and John Richard Thompson are our keynote speakers. And Ann Ford has a child with learning disabilities herself, so she's written 4 books. Primarily, they've been about her own child's disability and growing up and the things that her family has gone through. Her latest book is actually about the other child, her typical children, and how they're affected by it and how you can help them so that they don't feel like everything is about the learning disability, but how it affects the whole household. And John Richard Thompson is a playwright and a co-author, and they work together. They're very lovely people, very personal and interactive and informative mostly. They have done another event for us, and they were fabulous speakers, filled with information for people. And so they're going to talk about her latest book, The Forgotten Child, and we'll have a question and answer and a book signing at the end.
So now this is a free event, as I understand.
Yes, it is.
And tell us the details. When is it taking place and what time? And
It's going to be Sunday, October 18th, right here at the library from 2 to 5.
And so they have ability to hear the speaker as well as to walk around to the different vendors.
Absolutely.
And collect information. Now, it was interesting, I was reading a little bit about the event, and the Learning Disabilities Association had a quote which I liked. It said, "Individuals live with their disability but should not be defined by them." Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
You know, we tend to focus so much on the disability aspect, and people have strengths, and it's so important to focus in on those strengths because everybody can make a contribution to society, and I think it's up to the community at large to figure out how to make that happen. So we need more training, we need more coaching, and we need more jobs in general. Very often, disabilities aren't so obvious. There are many hidden disabilities. You don't, especially when it comes to learning disabilities, which this fair is much more than just about learning disabilities. But when it comes to a learning disability, you can look at someone and you can't really tell that they have a learning disability, and yet they might need some minor accommodation to be more successful at their jobs. So ultimately, I think our main goal is to make people more aware, but also to help people in general be able to lead successful, productive lives.
And it seems that sometimes it may be a minor accommodation that would make all the difference.
Oh, absolutely. It could be something as a special chair, or maybe they need a little bit more time to get a task done. So if it's not necessarily a deadline-related task, then a little bit more time is really a minor accommodation.
And if I was a parent and my child had been recently diagnosed with a learning disability, why would this conference or why would this fair be helpful to them, Audrey?
There's going to be a lot of vendors with so many different kinds of information to hand out. Transition, getting started in school and what to ask for, the things you should be looking for. There's all different kinds of information, all different kinds of vendors for all different disabilities.
So one of the really nice vendors that's a little unusual is a young man who started an organization to help both people with and without disabilities socialize together. So he's going to be one of the vendors there. So there really is a wide array of resources for parents, both people starting out in the process and people who are already in the process.
So it sounds like a really great place to either get started and learn more, or if you have a knowledge base already, to learn more.
Absolutely.
And recreation as well. So there's all different kinds of things that they can learn.
Oh, East Brunswick Recreation will be there as well.
Well, and Top Soccer and Best Buddies.
Oh, wonderful.
All different kinds of different athletic
So many good organizations that here in town that do work with kids with special needs, and maybe some parents are not aware of.
Absolutely.
Well, we thank you. Let's review again the particulars so people know where and when. It's October the 18th. That's a Sunday, correct?
Correct.
And here at the library.
Yes.
And the hours again for us?
It's 2 to 5.
2 to 5. So, and it's free to come in? And
absolutely free.
What a resource. Thank you so much. I know you're both volunteers. We're very thankful for all the work that you do in making this event possible, and we're thankful to the library as well for hosting this fabulous event.
Thank you so much.
This is Barbara Reese reporting for This Week in East Brunswick. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you at the fair.
Hi, my name is Rich Walling, and I am a lifelong resident of East Brunswick Township, and we are in the Old Bridge Historic District, and it was a small settlement dating back to the late 1600s, and it's an area filled with history, historic sites, and lots of past neighbors. Every Saturday in the month of October, we'll be meeting at the Little Pocket Park at Cosman Street here in the Old Bridge District and going on a ghostly tour of the neighborhood. Well, the ghostly tour is essentially stories that have happened to folks, including myself, with the very, very large amount of paranormal activities down here in the village. Everything from seeing apparitions to doors banging on their own, bright white lights when there was no other reason for that to happen in the home of a woman who had been murdered in the early 1900s. It combines both the history of the area, our neighbors of previous generations, because after all, we at one time will be a previous generation also for future ones coming up, and also a little bit of the thrill seeking. Everybody likes the experience of having strange circumstances happen in the middle of the night, and you'll all be a part of that on these ghostly tours of the Old Bridge Historic District. The program is geared to everybody and anybody. It's wheelchair and stroller friendly. There's nothing overly graphic, nothing overly spooky about it. So it's really a family activity. It's an activity for everybody who wants to have a little bit of a paranormal experience, and B, who want to learn a little bit more about their hometown community. Tours will be on the first 4 Saturdays in October, beginning at 8:30 p.m. at the Pocket Park at the corner of Cosman Street and Main Street, and also the last Friday of October, which happens to be Mischief Night, and we won't be getting into any mischief unless the spirits want to deem otherwise. The tours will be about an hour to an hour and a half long, $8 per person, and a portion of the proceeds will be going towards the Old Bridge Fire Department, itself established back in the early 1900s and celebrating over 100 years of community service to the residents of Old Bridge Village and East Brunswick Township. For folks who want more information, they can go to Facebook. It's East Brunswick Ghost Walk on Facebook, and the website for the group is njghostorg.com. Oh, it's going to be fantastic. If you want a ghoulishly good time, if you want to learn a little bit more about the community, learn a little bit more about the past neighbors of ours, you're very welcome to come out and have a great time.